John Spottiswoode was an Archbishop of St Andrews, Primate of all Scotland and historian of Scotland. Life. He was born in 1565 in Mid Calder, West Lothian, Scotland, the eldest son of John Spottiswoode, minister of Calder and superintendent of Lothian. He was educated at the University of Glasgow and succeeded his father in the parish of Calder in 1583. In 1601 he attended Ludovic, Duke of Lennox, as his chaplain, in an embassy to the court of France. Returning in 1603, he followed James to England on his accession, but was the same year nominated to the See of Glasgow, his consecration in London, however, not taking place until October 1610. Spottiswoode had originally become prominent as an ardent supporter of the strict Presbyterian party, but gradually came to see the inconveniences of parity of ministers, attributed little importance to the existing matters of dispute, and thought that the interests of both church and state were best secured by keeping on good terms with the king. He was therefore ready to cooperate with James in curtailing the powers of the Kirk which encroached on the royal authority, and in assimilating the Church of Scotland to that of England. On 30th of May 1605 he became a member of the Scottish Privy Council. In 1610 he presided as moderator over the assembly in which the supremacy of presbytery was abolished. In 1615 he was made Archbishop of St Andrews and Primate of Scotland, and in 1618 procured the sanction of the Privy Council to the 5 Articles of Perth with the ratification by Parliament in 1621. In 1633 he crowned Charles I at Holyrood. In 1635 he was appointed Lord Chancellor of Scotland, an office which he retained till 1638. John rebuilt the castle and founded a new church at Daresy, some miles east of St Andrews, as a family home. The castle has recently been rebuilt from a ruin, and his family crest is visible inside and outside the buildings. He was opposed to the new liturgy as inexpedient, but when he could not prevent its introduction he took part in enforcing it. He was a spectator of the riot of St Giles, Edinburgh, on the 23rd of July 1637, endeavoured in vain to avoid disaster by concessions, and on the taking of the Covent perceived that now all that we have been doing these 30 years past is thrown down at once. Quote, he escaped to Newcastle, was deposed by the Assembly on the 4th of December on a variety of ridiculous charges, and died in London on the 26th of November 1639, receiving burial in Westminster Abbey on the 2nd of December 1639. Spottiswoode published in 1620 Refutatio Libelli de Regimine Ecclesiae Scotti Carne, an answer to a tract of Calderwood, who replied in the Venditia e subjoined to his altered Damascenum. The only other writing published during his lifetime was the sermon he preached at the Perth Assembly. His most considerable work was the History of the Church and State of Scotland. It displays considerable research and sagacity, and even when dealing with contemporary events gives a favourable impression, upon the whole, of the author's candour and truth. The opposite side can be studied in Calderwood's History. Family. Spottiswoode married Rachel, daughter of David Lindsay, Bishop of Ross, with issue a daughter and 2 sons, and Spottiswoode, Sir John Spottiswoode of Daresy in Fife. He was appointed one of the gentlemen of the bedchamber to Charles I of England when a young man, and was knighted by the king as appears by a charter under the Great Seal, dated the 5th of June 1621. He died before the restoration of King Charles II. His only son was John, a staunch loyalist, joined James Graham, 1st Marquess of Montrose, and was taken prisoner with him and executed immediately after him. On the 21st of May 1650, Sir Robert, Lord President of the Court of Session, who was captured at the Battle of Philiphaugh in 1645 and executed on the 20th of January 1646,